I'm going to take a little walk, I think is what he says.
Yeah.
All right. What he's saying is, I'm going to go walk off and die.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll stay here by the van.
He didn't say the words die, so no. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We cut back to Elliot. I wonder if he's getting back from that walk.
Yeah.
Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about Mr. Robot, Season 4, Episode 4. 404, Not Found. Which, again, is appropriate.
Sure,
for
of
this
course. Yeah,
episode.
sure. They know what they're doing.
We've got our hero lost in the woods. For one thing, he's trying to find something. Also,
Sure. Sure.
Darlene is with a Santa who lost his keys.
Yeah, there you go.
Not found.
Not found those keys.
So, all right, here we go. We've got 3 storylines that take place more or less in this episode.
Yes.
One of them we just mentioned. Darlene has some important information to give to Elliot. He's not answering his phone. She decides to go to him. The important information she has is that, hey, you know that info you got, the code you got from Olivia in last week's episode? Isn't that enough? Her code gets you to the site, but it's read only. So in order to do the thing, we got to go to this place, Virtual Realty, and like hack in whatever. So I'm like, oh, that's a complete waste of time. All right, no. All right. So she's like, oh, gotta go get my brother. She tries to, I guess she's in the middle of stealing that car. I was a little unclear because it looks like she was using it to power her laptop. But anyway, let's say she's trying to steal the car. The guy who theoretically owns the car comes out. He's going to drive home. He's not a drugstore Santa. He's a hospital Santa. And he's really drunk. And so in order to save him, so he doesn't drive home drunk, she's like, I'll drive you home.
Partly,
if I can then use the car.
Yeah. Yes, it's a barter system, but also to dissuade him from calling the cops.
Right. So there's that storyline where as she's driving this drunk Santa home, she is having a conversation with him. We'll get back to that. Another storyline is Dom this is all Christmas Eve, by the way. Still Christmas Eve.
She's lonely.
She's lonely. She reaches out online for some, like online sex talk, which she has done in the past, I believe.
Yes, it's a little. Yeah, she's done in the past. Yeah, she finds some horny dude to text with that she explains she does because it gives her a sense of control. Right. Then we find out, that person's actually a woman. They kind of try to meet in real life. Has this person over. Person turns out to be like a Dark Army person, drowning her in the tub, and she wakes up. Yeah, it was a good thing that the Dark Army person got there in order to start a bath for her. That was actually, it's like, hey, I'm going to break in, I'm going to put flower petals around, I'm going to put candles, and I'm going to make this really nice, and then try to kill you in it. That is also actually a reference back to season 2. Dom mentions having this dream of like being underwater and having to like accept it or something. Oh, so it's a callback. I forgot about that. It's kind of a recurring dream for her apparently. Okay. That she again had in this motif that the Black Army is in control. She is not. So there's that storyline, and then our main storyline is Elliot, Wellick, and of course Mr. Robot. So when we left off, Elliot comes back home. Wellick has broken into his house. He's sitting there like, hey, they're going to make me CEO. Now we can take down the company. And Elliot's like, no, they're listening. He is correct. Yes. They are listening, and apparently our Dark Army. So we cut to the listening van. Wellick goes out and hits the guy who's in the van with a hammer. They think they killed the guy. So their plan is, hey, let's drive out to the middle of nowhere and then light this thing on fire. Yes. Because they're worried that according to, they can verify that so far The information
has not been transmitted.
Yeah, they took the logs and they...
Yeah. So they're going to burn everything. Burn the evidence in the middle of nowhere. So they drive out to the middle of nowhere, then go into a convenience store to get a lighter, and apparently the guy wakes up and drives off.
That woman was really annoying.
That woman was really annoying.
It's like, if only I was there to have the patience to explain to her how rude she was.
Yeah, she is convinced that she knows Wellick, which she probably has seen him on TV.
Yes.
She asks, have you seen Big Brother? And he's like, yep, that's it.
Yep,
you got it.
Yep.
All right. Which it's interesting that they say Big Brother, too. I don't know. It
yeah. You're right. Yeah, it does.
Of all the shows.
You're right.
You could have been like, oh, you saw me on a cooking show.
Yeah.
So, yes, she's like very demanding. They finally, Mr. Robot gets upset. Finally, he's like, "Ah!" Which is Elliot, but whatever. They come out, the car's gone. Now they got to walk to get cell service to a nearby town. By the way, a little Easter egg. I looked this up because after I watched the episodes, and I'm looking through, I started watching just for Easter eggs.
Okay.
And things like names of businesses, a la in the 2 episodes ago they had the La Mort Heureuse, the Happy Death,
sure,
which was a Camus reference. It was the taxidermist person. Well, this one, Sal Amanos, is the name of the convenience store.
Yeah,
I think a little, I don't know.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, it's 7-Eleven. It's like, no, it's Sal Amanos. So I looked up Sal Amano.
Get thee to the internet.
Exactly, get thee to the internet. Sal Amato, character in Camus' The Stranger. Which also, by the way, the title translated as The Outsider. Which they definitely mentioned in this episode. I feel like an outsider. Do you feel like an outsider?
Yeah, they were outside too, quite a bit.
Exactly. So, Camus existentialism all throughout this season, and probably series generally. Okay. Yeah. So, car's gone. Now they think, oh, well, that's it. Dark Army's going to know that we're in cahoots, and we're dead. As soon as we get to this town, we're going to.
Yeah.
And so Wellick's like, why get to the town?
There's no choice. We have to go to the town. So, and then ultimately she says, Elliot says that he wants to warn Darlene that if maybe she can get away.
Right, so that's his reason to continue instead of just sitting in the snow and dying.
The cell's reception is so bad that they don't have that choice.
So on the way to town, they find that the van is actually crashed on the side of the road, ran into a deer on Christmas Eve.
So of course.
A little, that's their version of it. We have a drunk Santa and a dead reindeer.
Obviously not Rudolph, because the nose would have lit the way. And
we do have something lighting the way at the end. Something's putting off a blue glow in the snow, and it's crying. No, it's Rudolph the Blue-Nosed Reindeer is what Wellick finds. So, they go to the van. The guy's still alive. He tries to shoot them. He shoots Wellick, then shoots himself. Now Wellick is mortally wounded and basically says his farewells.
Yes.
Just walks off into the woods.
Yes, that's right.
The last we see of him, he's walking towards this light. I don't know. Kind of Pulp Fiction-y almost.
Sure,
the thing? Walk towards the light.
No, it's okay. You can do it.
So we don't know what the light is. We don't know if we'll ever know what the light is.
No,
it could just be a metaphor for walk to the light.
It could be just death.
But it's making sounds. The sounds were like were coming from that. It seemed like it was coming from that light, which made it
I'll
weird.
have to read some Camus to get an idea about.
Good point.
Light.
Oh, and Darlene is now, trying to get to Elliott's location, so she's probably going to show up. I assume they're going to pick up pretty much right where they left off, because Elliott's out in the snow right now. He has I guess they could get in the van. I guess the van still works, maybe. Although it could crash. I think what seems to be the next plot point is Darlene shows up in the middle of nowhere because she can track him, and is like, I got a car, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
and that's probably how that's going to work out.
That makes sense.
Um,
I hope. Although, if they don't have cell service, I don't know how they can be tracked.
right, she is having trouble tracking him, but she then is driving. I don't know. She
I
seems
guess
to be
if she
driving
went
pretty
to the
confidently.
place that, well, who knows?
Yeah, Sal Amanos. Something tells me he always liked to go there to get lighters. Do you have some overall thoughts before we dig into maybe each of these little vignettes?
We separately talked about how not much is happening in terms of the plot to stop White Rose, or even, an example of White Rose's plot going into effect or anything. So, I mean, I was okay with what was going on, only because I guess I'm curious what's going to happen with, with Elliott. If this is the last episode for Wellick, I guess I would be fine with that, in that his only interest to me has been how messed up his life is, and how the desperation that led him to where he is right now. This is the last one with him. I'm fine with that. Part of me, though, feels as if perhaps the estrangement between Darlene and Elliott is contrived. It's like, I understand, I guess, that she wants to do something about their situation, whatever, and so it's to sort of put her in a box, I guess, or whatever. But it's like, I don't know. It's just,
there is that. I agree that there's a sense of, like, because in the beginning when she has her talks into the phone, leaves a message, and then erases it and leaves a more rational message. There is a sense of, like, okay, from your perspective, the world is ending.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people, probably including you, are going to die in the next few days.
Yeah.
Maybe you put off my brother and I aren't getting along until after the event.
Yeah.
Like, usually in times of, like, great stress,
right.
You're like, we'll handle this thing.
Right.
Here's a priority. Priority is save the world. Then we'll do hey, you don't talk enough to me. We should hang out more. Let's go eat some lunch. I don't know, like.
Although they have, spent pretty much the whole series setting up that she's kind of, she's so self-involved that she's not able to effectively manage her emotions.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I hear you. They're both unstable in a lot of ways, right? I mean, this is not the most stable brother-sister
no, definitely
combo.
Not. No. Ah, how we long for the days of Game of Thrones.
When everyone was so stable.
That's right. You got brothers and sisters there getting along much better.
Yeah, this episode, I was commenting that 2 episodes ago when their mom dies, that it seemed maddening, like, here's this obstacle to them, advancing the plot that seems somewhat arbitrary, like, oh, your mom's dead.
Yeah.
And so this kind of felt a little bit like that too. Like, we went out into the woods and we left the keys in the car and the guy drove off in the car and now we're walking through the woods and there's no cell reception. Like, it feels contrived as opposed to like something natural, So there are some nice character moments.
Yeah.
But you're in the last season. You're in the home stretch theoretically. And there is this, like, I want to get back to the main thread of the plot,
right? And
so it did feel till the ending when we have this emotional send off in a way for Wellick that it felt like it was spinning its wheels. I've got to get to Elliott. Oh, first now I got to drive to Santa way out in the middle of nowhere, out of my way in order to get access to a car. There's so many cars. Anyway,
right?
But it's an excuse to have these conversations.
Yes.
Oh, look, 2 people in a car, on a road trip. They're gonna have a heart-to-heart.
Right.
3 people walking in the woods. 2 people in a ghost. Whatever.
Yes.
Walking in the woods. They're gonna have a heart-to-heart.
Right.
They have time to chat.
Right.
Although it did occur to me too, another Christmas thing. So you have Santa. You got a dead reindeer. It is Christmas Eve, and you also do have kind of like three wise men. I don't know.
Oh yeah, kind of, yes.
We're on our way to the little town.
Yes.
Anyway,
the Holy Ghost. Well, like the position that he's in seems fairly final, except that you would think they would need him for this final plan because it's.
That's good. Who's going to be CEO now? Let's assume that I have a few possible ways that he's maybe not done, but let's assume for a second it is what it is.
Right.
He died. Right. He died in the woods.
Right.
Okay, so he's not going to be available to be a CEO when they go have a meeting the next day.
Now, I guess that's really more White Rose's plan, right? In terms of Elliott, he just had Price create a situation where everybody would be together.
And his situation was, I resign.
Right.
Which means White Rose is like, okay, we're going to nominate Wellick to be the new CEO.
Yeah.
Call the meeting.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a situation where they, obviously no one's going to know that Wellick's dead.
Right.
So maybe but you wouldn't.
They didn't bluff it.
Maybe they'll bluff that he's still alive so they can keep the meeting going.
Right.
Or is somebody else nominated? You know what? Elliott should be CEO. I don't see that.
Of course not. Her little second in charge there would be like, what?
What the what? Okay, so we had talked in the previous week of that Wellick was one of the candidates to possibly be this third personality. I suppose you could make the case that still could be a thing where the third personality
continues on.
Has just wiped itself out, or it continue like the next day just back like I was driven to suicide or whatever. But now I'm here again. It doesn't feel that way. I don't know. Like
I wouldn't say.
It seems too early in the season. The third personality reveal, I think, is coming at some point, and this didn't seem like the way they were going to do it.
Perhaps.
Here's another
I guess they didn't.
This is kind of far out, and I don't ascribe to this, but I'll throw it out as like maybe.
Throw it out.
Okay. Maybe in this world of conspiracies, the Dark Army controls everything.
Yeah.
Maybe getting Elliott out in the middle of the woods where there's no cell service in the middle of nowhere was part of Wellick had been maybe like the Dark Army. It was like, you gotta here's how you save. He said something about, oh, my son is safe now or something. Maybe it's like, we'll kill your son unless you do us a favor. We want Elliott to be taken out to the middle of nowhere and left. And so he basically contrived the situation. Oh, we killed a guy. We gotta drive to the middle of nowhere and light the car on fire. Here we're in the middle of nowhere. Oh no, we gotta walk through the woods now. Oh, Christmas Eve, boy, time's really catching up on us. I'll just leave you here. I'm gonna walk into the woods. And so he's not actually dead, or maybe he does die to save his son or something. But I don't know if the ruse involves him faking his own death or if he actually then dies. But one way or another, that perhaps all this was a Dark Army thing to just get Elliott in the middle of nowhere, and it's only because Darlene did this last minute, I'll do a GPS locator on you that saves the day. I don't know. There is a possibility. I think it's a slim possibility that that's the case, but
because you would think then that he would want to ask Elliott to safeguard him since he's going to die.
Yeah, and he seemed more depressed than he did anything else.
Yes.
He was like, look, I sense I'm going to die, and it's all over for me. And he was really worried about Elliott not caring about him. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Like, you wear all that black is because you don't care about anything.
Right.
I wear all these expensive suits because I want people to care. I guess that's kind of what that was going for.
Maybe.
And we see that Elliott does care. Essentially, right? I mean, he tries to walk away, but he can't. He's like, look, although in the end result, he does let him walk off. Look, I can't let you die. I'm just going to walk away and die. All right. Like, he doesn't fight that hard.
Yes, no, he doesn't.
He gives one, like, I can't let you die. I'm just going to walk out into the woods. I'm going to take a little walk, I think is what he says.
Yeah.
All right. What he's saying is, I'm going to go walk off and die.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll stay here by the van.
He didn't say the words die, so no.
That's right. We cut back to Elliott. I wonder if he's getting back from that walk.
Yeah.
That guy.
Well, he'll get back. We'll see him back.
We'll give him a few more minutes.
We'll see him back in the city.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just he could have been a little more aggressive in trying to save Wellick's life, I think.
Yes, I mean,
Wellick is sacrificing himself
they
for
were
Elliott, right? He's like, take out White Rose for me. I'm going to go die now.
Yes.
Don't take me to the hospital.
Right.
I'm not sure they could have gotten to a hospital anyway, frankly. But
Yeah.
The little druid that lives in the woods with bandages.
Right. I don't know how confident he is in whatever he's doing, though. So, I mean, presumably, I mean, it's hard for me to imagine whatever plot he has not working, because otherwise White Rose would win. I guess it's possible their plan could fail and somehow White Rose gets justice some other way.
Well, it seems like the next step is that Darlene, when she shows up and picks up Elliot, they're going to go to this virtual realty. She said security's lax because it's Christmas, and they're going to break in, do some kind of funds transfer with the Cypress thing, and I guess they have to time it with the meeting somehow. I'm not sure why that is, but I don't know. Everyone in the same location.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that sees to be the way it's going.
Yeah.
But it's taking its time.
It is taking its sweet time.
This is just episode 4. I believe there were 13 episodes.
So there you go.
So we've got still another several episodes left. I mean, like when does it get to Christmas Day? Oh no, it's still Christmas Eve. Anyway.
But yeah, that to me suggests whatever is going to happen for this Christmas Day, and then afterwards there'll be something else happening, either New Year's or
right.
time.
Well, so let's talk real quick about Darlene's conversation with Santa. So she reads that Santa is suicidal.
Right.
Turns out he's not.
No.
He was quoting, or you talking about his friend Jimmy, who was Jimmy Stewart from Wonderful Life.
Right.
He talked about his wife, how he used to like it when she would help him out, but since the accident, it was just an accident she had putting the Santa on a roof.
Yeah.
She's got a bad back. Percocet isn't for him to commit suicide; it's for her.
Right.
And I do like the conversation they're having. This yard just filled with like brightly lit, Santa paraphernalia. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, so basically it turns around. So the Santa's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm fine." Yeah. But boy, it's weird that you thought I was going to be suicidal. Yeah. Maybe the problem is with you.
Yeah.
And so he gives her the advice of, you're worried about your brother. That's great, but look after yourself first. You need to basically help yourself in order to help your brother.
Yeah. What if it's going to be some kind of, I mean, if she ends up being the sole survivor, like Jesse Pinkman.
Dun, dun, dun. You think Darlene survives more so than Elliot. I feel like Darlene is maybe more likely to die than Elliot.
You've matted her.
I've matted. I don't know if I'm matted, Darlene. I don't know if I've gone with like 100% prediction.
Okay.
Right. I can see your side of it.
A mat has to be 100%, huh?
I think so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I've got to be like damn convinced.
Because you matted Price.
I did mat Price. Yeah, Price is dead.
Yeah, right.
Price is gone. But yeah, I could see the case where Elliot plays the kind of the heroic role and sacrifices himself. But I could also see that Darlene dies, and that gives him some kind of an incentive. She's fridged.
It's not too late to fridge her.
That's right.
It's pretty cold right now, anyway. So
White Rose, you gave me even more incentive. Like I needed any. Yeah, we'll see who dies. We had theoretically Wellick is dead now.
Yes, theoretically.
We did not technically see him go out. But,
no.
What would the glowing thing be if not a metaphor? Is it like a camera, maybe for like a deer stand or something? Or
is it it's
like calling deer to it?
A Christmas tree, sales.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The wise men went looking for the light.
Yes.
The last little bit here is that if you think about last episode was also Christmas Eve.
Yes.
They still hadn't got it. And it's like suicide. If you're considering suicide, please do the thing. Yeah. I mean, they're really playing up the Christmas holidays are when people bump themselves off.
Yes.
They had in this episode, Santa seems suicidal. But there, a very grim conversation going on in the woods.
Yes.
So it's like this really dark take on Christmas, which fits the show.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
It's there. So happy Christmas. No. Anyway, so come on back. We'll be talking episode 5. Also talking Watchmen. And in the near future, a couple of weeks out, is The Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
Which we intend to cover as well.
Yes, we do intend to cover that.
So thank you, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right.
Bye.